Hey everyone, welcome back to Car Flash at the garage, where badge hype gets tossed in the glove box, spec sheet worship gets left at the dealership, and what we're left with is raw, unfiltered, seat-of-the-pants driving truth. If you're new here, consider this your initiation into a world where we don't care what's trending, we care about what's thrilling. And today, we're peeling back the perfectly engineered skin of one of the most iconic sports cars in the world. But not just any version. We're talking about the 2026 Porsche 911 Carrera T, the enthusiast's 911. No frills, no fluff, just the essence of driving pleasure. Buckle up. Exterior right off the bat, you know you're looking at something pure. This isn't the wide-bodied, aero-heavy turbo or the track-focused GT3. The Carrera T has a cleaner, leaner silhouette, and that's on purpose. Porsche has managed to keep the curb weight around 3,240 pounds, lighter than a base Carrera, thanks to thinner glass, less sound insulation, and even removing the rear seats. But let's be honest, no one's buying a 911 to haul groceries and a carpool. Looking at the front, it's unmistakably Porsche. The rounded headlamps with the 4-point LED signature lights remain iconic, while the subtle front lip and clean front fascia scream simplicity in the best way. Porsche isn't trying to overstyle this thing, and that's what makes it feel timeless. The front sits low, planted, and confident, with functional air inlets that remind you this isn't just a pretty face. Slide around to the side, and the story continues. You're greeted with the classic 911 profile at the sloping roofline, the muscular rear haunches, and a stance that just begs to be driven. But there are clues that this isn't your average Carrera. It rides on staggered 20-inch front and 21-inch rear titanium grey Carrera S wheels, wrapped in sticky summer rubber. The sports suspension lowers the car by 10 mm, tightening up the look and the feel. Black mirror caps and discreet 911 Carrera T decals on the doors hint at the purpose-built attitude without shouting. The door handles are painted in gloss black, and that's about as flashy as it gets, which is exactly the point. Around back, the 911's signature light bar stretches cleanly across the width of the car, connecting the thin, precise taillights. Dual central exhaust tips sit proudly within the rear diffuser, giving off a purposeful, ready-to-bark look. No oversized wing, no exaggerated drama, just pure, balanced aggression. You look at it and know, this thing doesn't care about Instagram clout, it cares about apexes. Interior. Now let's slide inside, but don't expect luxury overload, that's not what this 911 is about. You're greeted by a stripped-down, driver-focused cabin. Standard seats are 4-way sport seats plus, upholstered in a mix of leather and Sport-Tex with contrast stitching. But if you're like us and want that motorsport edge, you can spec the optional carbon fiber full bucket seats, and trust me, they're worth every penny if you plan on pushing the car hard. The rear seats, gone. Porsche ditched them to save weight, and honestly, you won't miss them. Sound insulation has been trimmed back as well, which means more engine noise, more road feedback, and more smiles per mile. That said, it's not some Spartan shell. You still get dual-zone climate control, a 10.9-inch touchscreen with Porsche Communication Management, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and a solid Bose sound system, although good luck using it over the sound of the Flat 6 doing its thing. And speaking of that, Flat 6 a broken bar, here we go. Performance. Under the rear deck sits a 3.0-liter twin-turbocharged Flat 6 engine pumping out 379 horsepower and 331 pounds-feet of torque. You might be thinking, hey, that's the same power as the base Carrera, and you'd be right. But what separates the Carrera T is what it's paired with, a standard 7-speed manual gearbox. 3 pedals, short throws, mechanical joy. You can get a PTK if you want, but let's be real, this car begs to be driven with the stick. The gear ratios are beautifully matched, the clutch is light but communicative, and the whole system just rewards you for driving with intention. With the Sport Chrono package standard, you get launch control, rev matching, and a sharper throttle map. And thanks of the lower weight and performance bits like rear axle steering and the mechanical limited slip diff, the Carrera T handles more like a dance partner than a machine. 0 to 60 comes in around 4.3 seconds with the manual, and 3.8 if you opt for the PDK. But this car isn't about straight line numbers 8, it's about connection. Take it through a canyon, and you'll feel the difference. The front end bites with precision, the chassis rotates with balance, and the rear traction is always predictable. It's the kind of car that makes every corner feel like a moment. Not intimidating like a GT3, not too smooth like a 911 Turbo A, just right. That's the Carrera T's magic. It makes you feel like a better driver without beating you up or showing off. So what's all this cost? The 2026 Porsche 911 Carrera T starts at around $122,000 before options. And sure, you can spec it way higher. Add carbon seats, rear axle steering, fancy paint, and you'll hit $140K plus easily. But honestly, the beauty of the T is how good it is without all that. It's the sweet spot, the one that feels like a greatest hits album of everything. Porsche stands for: a lightweight, driver-focused, beautifully balanced. In a world full of overpowered, overtouched, and overcomplicated cars, the Carrera T is a breath of perfectly tuned air. It doesn't chase numbers, it chases smiles. It doesn't brag about horsepower, it brags about harmony. And at Car Flash, that's the kind of car that earns our respect. So, should you buy it? If you're looking for the raw, soulful experience of driving a 911A without needing to prove anything to anyone, then the Carrera T is your car. It's not trying to be the fastest, or the flashiest, it's trying to be the most honest. And in 2026, that might just make it the best 911 you can buy. Thanks for riding with us today. If this video lit up your inner gearhead, hit that like button like a perfect downshift, and smash subscribe for more unfiltered reviews right here on Car Flash. We're not about spec sheet worship, we're about finding the cars that make your heart race, your palms sweat, and your tires scream. Until next time, drive hard and stay curious.